Give me a D and a G. It's the Dunga Show. It's the Dunga Show.
Welcome to the Dog and Gus Show.
Now on Be Kind Radio.
Yep.
What's going on, dog?
Not much. You?
Not much. You're just you're remote on your island, in your island house over there,
Yes,
right?
I am. Yeah, it's stayed home today. Wasn't sure about the weather driving out there, so I decided to be safe.
Solid choice. What do we got going on today?
We're going to talk with Julie Stella today.
Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
Happy New Year.
And you.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year. Big year coming up. Everything's going to change back to normal from 2020 to now, right?
Well, define normal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't suppose so. But yeah, so for people just discovering you, who is Julie Stella right now?
Well, I'm now, I guess, a songwriter, if you will. I'm not gonna lie, that's a recent thing for me. Some people might know me as the host of Indie City Madness. So I host a radio show on CKCU. I've been doing that for over 11 years, which is really fun. And before that, I was a music blogger for a couple of years as well. And so this Julie Stella as a songwriter, as an artist is quite recent. And so, but I like to think that every different Julie has kind of brought me to where I am now, which is, a songwriter, and just someone who likes to connect with musicians and bring people together through music, essentially.
It's great. That's why we do this. That's a good answer.
It's, except we can't sing. Oh,
yeah. No talent,
Yeah,
but
we have no talent.
we're interested.
yeah. We try to be interesting. What was the first moment you realized that music wasn't just a hobby?
The first moment, I know we don't like to reference this particular time period, but 2020 changed a lot of things for a lot of people, and was a challenging time for a lot of us, including myself. Like I mentioned, I've been doing community radio. Not only was I involved in community radio, I was going out to see live shows on a weekly basis. And so I was constantly going out and connecting with people and discovering music and doing all that things and doing all those things. And that brought me so much joy. And then all of a sudden it all disappeared. Right. Mm-hmm. So no radio, no music festivals, no live shows. And I was just kind of left with myself and kind of like, oh my God, who is Julie without all of her hobbies and her passions? Like who is that person? So I would say I had a full-on identity crisis, starting in 2020. I'm from New Brunswick, so I'm a maritime girl. All my family is still in the Maritimes. And so during 2020, I felt really disconnected. I felt really isolated. Couldn't be close to my family, and it was hard to travel during that time, as you know. And when my grandfather passed in September of 2020, that's when I wrote my first song. I had just bought an old piano on a whim, just because I had, bought a house and I had space for it. I hadn't played piano in years, but because I was going through, loss and going through grief, and I couldn't grieve with my family. I couldn't go to the funeral. I couldn't travel. I couldn't be around my loved ones during this hard time. I kind of turned to music and just kind of wrote my first song as a goodbye letter to my grandfather. And that was really helpful. And so that just kind of kept going, I guess. So I've been essentially writing songs since September 2020.
Wow, that's great. It's funny how, I'm sorry to hear about that. Of course, that's tough, but sometimes with grief comes art, right? I think that's the best. Some of the best art comes from pain, right? Would you agree?
Yeah. And I'm very drawn to music that is really authentic and raw. And yeah, some of the artists that I'm most drawn to have like the most heartbreaking songs, you know, and yeah, I'm drawn to, even though I'm a happy person in, you know, in daily life, I really like sad songs and I like sad music.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Speaking of that, what artists or sounds shaped you?
So growing up, I was very, very influenced and very inspired by artists like Alanis Morissette. So the album Jagged Little Pill completely changed my life. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. Obviously, I love the Cranberries. They're one of my favorite bands. They really influenced me too growing up. And I was very drawn to like artists or female artists that played the piano. So like Fiona Apple, Chantal Kreviazuk. I was very drawn to that kind of music. Um, I also liked a bit of like heavier music, like Matthew Good. I also like Silverchair. But I'm now, as I'm older, kind of revisiting some of the like the harder rock music and grunge music from the 90s. That's what I listen to regularly nowadays. So I'm kind of late to the party on that one. But I was very much, as a kid growing up in the 90s, very much influenced by a lot of 90s music.
Nice. Yeah, that's fair. I think we're the same age because that was my time as well. Was there a song that made you think I want to do that? Like, was there one that sticks out that you were like, I got to play music. I got to get this out?
Wow. That's a great question. So I, again, mentioned Matthew Good. Love his solo albums, but on Beautiful Midnight from the Matthew Good Band, the last song of the album is called Running for Home, and it's just like a very simple piano ballad, and he's just like, you know, very soft, isolated vocals, and that song had such a profound impact on me. And when I was with one of the first concerts that I saw when I moved to Ottawa was Matthew Good for the Avalanche tour. And that was such a pinch me moment. The fact that like I grew up in a small town and, you know, there's not a lot of artists that come on tour. There are now, but back when I lived there, there wasn't a lot of people coming through Moncton and New Brunswick. And when I moved to Ottawa, I felt like I had access to all of these concerts and festivals, and that was just so exciting. So seeing Matthew Good perform for the first time was like life-changing, and it's probably one of the artists that I've seen perform the most throughout the years.
Yeah, that's a good album. That's 99. I think that came out. It was like I think that album's like a Hello Time Bomb, Hit Me,
Load Me
Up. Yeah.
Giant. It's just, it's fantastic.
I think Future is X-Rated is my favorite song on that album. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Matthew Good. I saw him a few times as well, and it was just always a great show. Yeah. Yeah,
and depending on whether he's solo, I've seen him solo a bunch of times. It's a whole other vibe. It's so fun with the full band as well. But he's an artist that to me is very, very authentic, whether you like it or not. He has opinions, but also his songs just feel a lot of the times just very raw and also unpolished. And I think that that's kind of the kind of music that I'm drawn to. I mean, I like great vocalists, and, you know, classically trained vocalists and that, but also I just feel like when songs feel raw and unpolished, there's just something so special about them. And I connect with that, I guess.
It feels more real, I would say. Yeah, that's a good point. Very good.
Or feel authentic. And I think that's really, really important.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in a musical family, or did you just not pick it up on your own?
No, I didn't really grow up in a musical family. I grew up with 3 brothers who played hockey, and for me, it was kind of like I had a great aunt who was a piano teacher, and I just kind of started taking lessons when I was 9, and then I stopped for a couple of years, and then I started again, I think when I was 16 or 17 before I left home. But I wasn't, I wouldn't say I'm a musician. Like I think the instrument that I excelled at the most was playing clarinet in high school. I got roped into the high school band, and I played clarinet for 4 years, and that was really fun. So I know how to read music and everything, but piano was never an instrument that I excelled at or that I felt I was good at. I just, know the basics, and that was good enough for me. And even now, I wouldn't say I'm a good musician by any means, but I like writing songs, and if I can figure out music to go with it, even better. But no, I didn't really grow up in a musical family. I just kind of, piano was the thing that I tried and I kept going back to while I was growing up. But I always was listening to music. Like I said, I would lock myself in my room and listen to Alanis or listen to the Cranberries. And then I also would get together with my girlfriends at the time and dress up as the Spice Girls, and we would lip sync, and we would come up with choreography. And so I did enjoy performing, but it never kind of occurred to me that I might eventually like start writing songs or anything. It was just mostly for fun. And it was never kind of a career option, or it never occurred to me that I could do it. But I just knew that I loved to do it.
Yeah, that's great. I have a question of how do you consume music, but I can tell that it's behind you. And so how many CDs do you have? And is that how you listen to your music still? Or do you sometimes, I'm sure you still use other avenues to use, like when you're in your car or something, because nobody has CD
players. I don't know how
in.
many CDs are here. A lot of them are my husband's CDs. Some of them are mine. He's a bigger music fan than I am. But yeah, so one thing that I like to do now, especially, after 2020, is I still go to a lot of live shows, and the best way to support independent artists is to buy merchandise. And if the bands that I'm going to see have CDs, obviously I'm going to leave there with one, because that's the best way to support them. I have a few vinyl lying around, but I haven't, the idea of switching this collection to vinyl just seems a bit daunting. I'm not gonna lie.
You need another job.
And again, since I'm like, I grew up in the 90s, this is just kind of what I'm used to, But, I like to also support artists by listening and buying their music on Bandcamp. I think that's a great way to support independent artists. On the radio show that I host, we play a lot of music from Bandcamp. And I also, believe it or not, I still have an iPod, you guys.
Wow.
And I plug it in, and when I'm hitting the road, I don't listen to music on my phone ever. I listen to music on my iPod.
Good for you. It's impressive. I think Dog's going to pull one out here.
Dog, you're going to show me your iPod?
I have one somewhere around here, yeah. And it's the old school rotary one, so.
Nice.
Yeah. I have a little bit of everything, so. And it is daunting because I started with albums and then rebought with CDs, so. Which I don't really understand why I did that, but.
So you have 2 large collections going on?
I actually have more CDs than I do LPs.
Okay.
But I'm upwards of probably 1,000 albums.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And probably close to 1,800 CDs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. No idea.
So mine are, I still have CDs, but they're not like displayed so nicely like yours. Mine are still in those books, the books with the.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Because I always had them in my car, right? So it was easier just to have. And I remember I threw out all the cases. Like I was like, I don't want the cases anymore because that takes up space, but this doesn't. Yep. So I was like, oh, I still have the CDs, but in a book, multiple books. Yeah.
Right. Like those big binders. Yeah.
Yeah. I have like this Pioneer system that I got in 99 probably. And it's like one of those ones where you touch the top and it slides down and you can put your CD in this way. So yeah, I still have that. It's in my garage, but
it's pretty sexy.
Yeah, it's a sexy machine. It's lasted 7 years, right? So it's
amazing.
Yeah, it's the best.
That's awesome.
Oh,
I love that.
it's not a
We'll get back
competition.
Yeah. Where do your songs like start? Like, do you do lyrics, melody, emotion, or chaos?
It's always lyrics for me. And when I am writing songs, it's always like writing pen to paper. I can't be on my phone. I don't do voice memos. It's always pen to paper, and it always starts with lyrics. And so I have a lot of notebooks lying around, maybe a bit too many. But it always starts with lyrics and melody, and then eventually I try to like put music to it. But yeah, that's what's been really challenging and rewarding about writing songs and then choosing to share them with people. Because when I started writing in September of 2020, I was kind of like, okay, I wrote the song for my grandfather and then kept writing. And then I was like, oh, I really like these songs. And then I asked myself, am I okay with these songs just living in my notebook? And then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should try an open mic, see how that feels. But I feel like there's something there. Like, I feel like there's value in my songs. And so then I decided to play an open mic and I enjoyed that experience. And then I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep playing music. If I have the opportunity to play, I'm just going to perform. And so that's kind of been my journey so far.
It's awesome.
Cool. So what's harder, starting a song or knowing when it's finished?
Oh, wow. Knowing when it's finished, 100%. Starting a song to me is not challenging, but knowing when it's finished,
Yeah, that's a tough
and I have
situation.
so many songs that are in the works right now that I don't know if they're finished. Like they're, I've been working on them for months or even some of them for years. And it's kind of like, okay, it's coming together, but how do I know? Is this good enough? Or, yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah. Going on like your thought of how you like raw artists and more authentic, what song of yours feels the most honest?
Ooh. Probably the first one I released back in November of 2023. It's called Like a Ghost. And so, we were talking about grief earlier. And I reached a point, I think I wrote it at the end of 2021, where, again, going through loss and then realizing, okay, it's been a couple of months that we're, into the pandemic and realizing like, oh, moving forward, even if things go back to normal, your life is not going to be the same. You can't undo what has happened. You can't change the fact that, you live, through this really challenging experience, struggles with mental health and whatnot. Like, you can't go back. And not only did I lose my grandfather in September of 2020, but I also, my dog died in July of 2021. And when I was really struggling, in the early days of the pandemic, my dog essentially saved my life. She was my comfort, and we would go walking 3 times a day. And so that was to me a really, really big loss. And so navigating that grief felt next to impossible. And so I wrote my song Like a Ghost about dealing with grief, but also not recognizing my life anymore. And kind of how do you wrap your head around the fact that your life is no longer yours, or it's going to look different moving forward. And I think a lot of us, depending on what kind of loss we're going through or what kind of grief and to what degree we're experiencing grief, it's something that we all go through in different ways, right? And so I feel like that song is not only, the most authentic and the most raw. I think that's the one that connects with people the most, especially when, people are going through a hard time.
Yeah. Yeah. I lost my dog in December of 2020, was it 2020? Yeah, after the pandemic was to March, so we had that whole period. We just moved into a house, and then that happened right after, and then we had our dog the whole summer, who was very important. Like we had it 11 years, right? It's like Hendrix was the dog's name, and just was like this spectacular dog. Just knew what I needed when I needed it, you know. And then when that happened, that was the hardest thing. I've lost family members and all that. I found that to be the hardest thing, because you have to be with it when it happens, right? So it was rough, and it was a moment that I remember. Yeah, it was hard, but I can see where that comes from. It makes total sense. People do connect to things like that.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Actually,
so how do you decide? No, about dogs. Sorry, other than being one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How do you decide what song you're going to release?
That's a good question. So I just started it's been over a year that my partner, my husband, he's now taught himself how to record and how to mix and engineer music. And so we've been working together, for over a year. And so now it's kind of like, it's funny that you asked that question, Dog, because I legit have to ask myself that question, because now all of the projects that we've been working on together are now complete, and they're now out into the world. And now I actually need to decide what song I'm going to record next. And I have a lot of songs, but again, because I don't consider myself a musician at all. I struggle with the music part of it. It's like, I have some songs that have music and chords too, but I have tons of songs that have no music yet. That I have lyrics, they're done, there's melodies, but there's no music to the songs yet. And so, so right now, in terms of picking songs to record, I think I have like 2 or 3 that are possibilities that I'm like, debating on which one to release next. But there's a lot that I could release, but they don't have music yet. They still only exist on the page. And so I think in 2026, my goal will be to try to come up with music for those songs, or maybe even collaborate with people, because that's the thing with Ottawa. As you know, guys, there are so many talented people who live in the city. Like, so many talented people. And because I've been involved in the local music scene, and supporting the local music scene through the radio show, but also as a patron, attending shows and stuff like that, I have met so many amazing people. And I've become friends with a lot of local musicians. And so so the kind of the switch into singer-songwriter has been pretty good, because I'm well supported and I have people that I can ask questions to and ask for advice. And so so I think in 2026 I'm looking forward to maybe collaborating with other local artists and releasing more music, hopefully.
That'll be great. Yeah. When you think of that though, do you think EP or do you think singles? What do you think?
So in my mind, I already have like 1 or 2 EP titles that are like, have been floating in my head for, a couple of years. So I don't know. I would like to, just to say that I've done it. But I know after talking to a lot of other local artists that it's kind of like the time and energy that it takes to put an EP together. And when it comes to, obviously, people nowadays consume a lot of their music through streaming platforms, like Spotify. And sometimes, from what I've heard, it's almost not even worth kind of coming up with an EP, and it's easier and makes more sense to just release singles. And so I'm really not sure, honestly, kind of what my thoughts are on that. I would like to release an EP one day, just to kind of be like, oh, I've done that. Yay, check. But so far it's not in the immediate plans. But when it is, I have a great title, which I'm not going to share.
No, don't share it. No, you keep that to yourself. But I guess you could release singles and then create the EP after.
Yeah.
Because then you can put it into order the way that you will visualize it, and then name it, of course. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like a tough thing because we grew up, all of us, with full albums. Like it was a people put together a proper album, and there was a reason for it, and you got excited about opening the CD case and reading all of the lyrics and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I actually like cassettes too, because you could just fold it like this. That was a good time too. But yeah, I guess it's everybody. I think you guys struggle with that, because it's like you want your music to get activity, and you want it to do well. However, you also want to be artistically integral, right? So I think that's a tough thing you guys battle with. Most artists that we talk to about it, anyway.
And I think nowadays also, especially through streaming platforms, a lot of people get their music discovered through different playlists and stuff like that. So the idea of having an album and having a specific order to your songs, because it means a lot to you, it's almost doesn't even fit with how music is discovered nowadays. It's just, it's a very interesting maze to go through to get kind of your music out there.
Yeah. Very tough.
I think go back to the 80s or the 70s when you didn't have the option of streaming these platforms and stuff like that. But what if we did? Do you think there would be a lot less albums produced?
Probably, which is so sad to think.
Yeah, like imagine not having Led Zeppelin 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like, you know what I mean? Like you'd have.
Well, I mean, because struggling musicians, like you say, it's like that's a big chunk of money going out. And is it viable to put all this money into an EP or to a CD, and then you're trying to sell it at your shows and stuff, and then you end up sitting at home one day and you look over and you got a box full of like 400 CDs you haven't sold.
Yeah.
It's a tough challenge. I think the way that you kind of look at it, and maybe it's me, but when you talk about guys that know the artist, and like they say, just make it for yourself, and then whatever happens after that is what it is, right? Because you're really making the art for yourself in the end. But of course, you got to financially make up for it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why I decided to start performing and sharing my songs, was kind of like for myself. Because I like to think that my 18-year-old self would think it's cool, and my 12-year-old self would think it's cool. And so
Super
I'm like,
cool.
as long as they think it's cool, why not? Why wouldn't I do it, right?
I love that.
And Gus, behind you, I see that poster, Carpe, that Diem.
You can swear here.
I very much believe in that saying, very much, and especially going through the period of the pandemic, and not being able to carpe the diem as I would have liked to. Now it's kind of like nothing can hold me back. If I want to try something, I am going to try it. I'm going to try all the things, because I just don't want to have any regrets on my deathbed one day. Do you know what I mean? Like,
totally.
No thanks.
I'm totally like that too. And I think that also, the pandemic was awful, of course, but it was, I think it was eye-opening for a lot of people to realize, like, okay, things can stop at any moment, and you better, as I like to say, like, twist the bar rag of life all out, because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, people die young, and people also get, sickness and whatever else. Right. So it's I love that. And stoicism really started hitting me like this year, and Dog will tell you how I am about manifesting and thinking about the future and living in the present, but thinking, what can I do in the present that'll just be helpful later? But you can't think too far ahead, because otherwise you're not living right now.
You may not catch up with yourself.
I have a question. I don't know. Dog will be back. Okay, it's a fun question. All right. So you just you just robbed a bank, and you get in the car, And what song is in your CD player as you're driving away?
What song? It could either be some Pantera or maybe some Fleetwood Mac. I'm not sure, honestly. I think both could work.
It's true. Walk, or The Chain. Yeah, either one is probably pretty good. Yeah.
See, in my mind, The Chain is probably one of the best songs of all time. Like,
Me too.
just hands down, yeah.
It's a great song.
But also 5 Minutes Alone by Pantera, I feel like would be super fun.
That would be fun. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Two different aspects.
Or maybe actually, you know what? Maybe some Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. No More Tears.
Yeah. Which, Ozzy Osbourne was kind of more or less my introduction to heavy metal. And yeah. I saw him live a bunch of times and discovered so many amazing people as like his openers. Yeah. Very sad he's gone.
Yeah.
But what a life, man. And what a way to go.
I'm surprised he lived as long as he did.
Yeah, same. However, like, my gosh, that fundraising concert that they did, a few weeks before he passed, that was unbelievable. And just such a beautiful display of support and community. And I think that's what's beautiful about music.
It is.
But also, fun fact that our wedding song, my husband and I, was a song by Ozzy Osbourne.
Wow. That's when you knew.
He's very special in this household. Yeah.
That's good. You guys are gonna make it. They're gonna make it. What's crazy about Fleetwood Mac, going back to that, is the Rumors album, which The Chain's on, obviously. My parents played it constantly, like my mom. Not my parents, my mom. But you would just, Sundays, I knew that the Fleetwood Mac album was going to go on, and I actually hated it as a kid because you're like, this album again. But now, as I listen to it, it's one of the greatest pieces of art we've ever had, right? So it's just so great. It's such an amazing album. Anyways, yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you're a kid, you don't realize, you don't maybe realize at the time. You're just like, oh my God, a parent of mine likes this. Ugh,
Yeah, exactly. It's like CCR's playing, or Chuck Berry, or like Pavarotti, or like these legends that I at the time I was like, I want to listen to Nirvana, or like Alice in Chains, or I'm not interested in this. But again, now I love all of that stuff, right? Like, it's just like, because it's added into what I like, but also now I like what my mom liked, right? So
yeah. And what's funny is I will often arrive to the party late, as in I will discover or dive into a band that I've obviously heard of, but I've just never given their music a chance, or really given the proper time and energy to explore a band or an album. And then I'm like, oh my God, why did I wait so long to listen?
Have you guys heard of Alice in Chains? Yeah. yeah.
So good.
Yeah, Lane Staley's got one of the best voices
ever. And
that's
one of the bands that I now listen to all the time. But at the time, again, I'm a young girl in the 90s, but then started listening to Alanis. Growing up, I loved Hole, Live Through This. Love that album. Still love that album for different reasons. It speaks to me, differently now. But yeah, no, it's never too late. It is never too late to discover amazing music and amazing albums. And so,
Yeah, it's always good to find new stuff. Dog, you're back.
Hello.
Right.
Dog, close another tab where Riverside's open, please.
Okay.
Sorry, Julie. Just sometimes this happens when we're not all together.
Yeah.
It's okay. So let's talk about live shows. So what's your favorite type of venue to play?
Ooh. My favorite type of venue to play. Well, if there's a piano at the venue, that's great. So I don't have to drag my keyboard from home in the car and then, set it up.
Yeah.
And also there's something about the sound, the weight, the heaviness of an actual piano that I find really, really special. So, for example, I've had the chance to play Irene's a few times. Love that piano. I love playing at Live on Elgin. That is the first place I ever performed at the open mic. My first ever proper gig was at Live on Elgin. So obviously, I have a lot of love for Live on Elgin. But I like small intimate rooms. Luckily so far, because again, I play, slower, softer music on the piano. I like a nice attentive room. And so far I've been lucky that, I've played a lot of beautiful places, and I've played to very attentive and supportive crowds. I'm just happy to play anywhere, honestly, at this point. I love playing with artists that I don't know because I love discovering new music. And I also love playing gigs with artists that I know and that I love. In 2025, I had the chance to play with Elizabeth Royale, who is so talented. Oh my gosh, I absolutely adore her. I also had a chance to perform on a bill with my friend Chase Van Duzen. Chase, he's wonderful. Also, I had a chance to play with Annie Martel. She is fantastic as well. So I've, discovered all of this music through the radio show, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to play a show with them so that I can actually watch them play. So that's, I think, the most fun about performing live is just who you get to perform with and share the stage with, and what artists you're going to discover. It's just so fun,
Totally. We've had Elizabeth and Chase on, and they're they're wonderful individuals, and also really talented, which is great.
Yes, love.
Is there anybody on your wish list that you haven't played with yet?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. I would love to play with Claude Manson. He's wonderful. I've been, playing his music on the radio for a really, really, really long time. So would love to play with him. So I'd love to play with him, but also I'm just looking to play. So if anyone is looking for, a slow, sad girl singer-songwriter to add to their bill, please call me. I just like playing. It's fun.
That's great. Yeah. Do you get nervous before shows?
Oh my God. All the time. Which is the least fun part of the whole performing live is kind of, the nerves and the butterflies. But what I found, and this is a little funny because I've been doing live radio for over 10 years, 11, 12 years at this point. I still get nervous before I go on the air. It's been over a decade. So I think it's just kind of part of it. You just learn to kind of navigate the nerves. And for me, it's kind of I'm just nervous. I can't sit down. So I'm just kind of I'm
Nancy.
standing and walking around and doing things. But as soon as I get on stage, I'm okay. As soon as it starts, I relax a little bit, and it's pretty fun. Yeah. But I think that's just part of it.
Do you want to hear a trick?
Tell me.
So the feeling of being excited and being nervous is the same. So you just start saying, I'm not nervous, I'm excited. And then it changes. Okay. It might change your mindset just a little bit. But again, I haven't played live for anybody. I usually just speak, but that's different. I'm not actually playing an instrument while being live. So I'll take that the way you will. I'm just letting you know that I've read that's the same feeling. So.
And that makes total sense.
Yeah. It's a fun thing to I love that though, because when you test yourself like that, or you challenge yourself with something that's hard, usually the benefit of it is the end, right? Where you feel amazing after, right? So a lot of people don't do it because they're too nervous. It's well, if you just started, you'd be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's something that we all battle with. It's human nature.
Yeah. And just trying to get out of your comfort zone sometimes is good. So
totally. Yeah. Ask Dog.
Yeah, ask me about that. No, tell us a little bit about how the radio show started.
So I, for a couple of years, was a music blogger. So I was writing for a website here in Ottawa called Couch Assassin. I was also writing for a Montreal blog because I would go to Montreal a lot to go see concerts. And then I just started writing concert reviews and festival reviews in Montreal. I'd get media passes, which was really, really fun to go to like really, really fun shows. And yeah, so through Couch Assassin, I was writing more music previews or concert previews to kind of, so I'd interview like bands coming into town and with the hopes of encouraging people to go check out live music. So I was doing that, and one of the bloggers at Couch Assassin, his name is Andrew Lassell, he started this radio show called Indie City Madness on CKCU, and the mandate was local music. Doesn't matter what the genre is, as long as it's local, we can play it, during that time slot. And so he did that for, I think, like 2 years with another host whose name is Rick Vaughn. And then Andrew decided he needed a break, and Rick was looking for another co-host to kind of jump in and, kind of take over for Andrew. And at that point, I'd done radio once or twice before. Andrew had asked me if I wanted to replace Rick at one point. And again, I've never thought of doing radio, but how cool is that? I'm going to try it. And I was nervous, but it was really, really fun. And so when Andrew left the show, another friend of mine, her name is Ellie, she and I kind of joined Rick, and we just started, there's 3 hosts. So we started hosting, the 3 of us, this show, and Rick and Ellie are no longer hosting the show, but I'm still hosting. And yeah, I was kind of roped in through, connections through the community, and it's been so fun. It's so fun to, you guys know, this is why you do it. You love music, and you know that there's talent in Ottawa, Gatineau, and so it makes it easy and fun, and you discover new music and promote independent artists. Like it's a pretty fun non-job job, because obviously I'm a volunteer at CKCU, and CKCU has tons of volunteers who have been there for decades and decades. I'm one of the newer volunteers, if you will, even though I've been there over a decade. But yeah, there's just love for community and for live music. So that's kind of what I bring to it.
Yeah. No, it's been a journey for us too, like just to figure out some local artists. And then I'll be honest, I didn't realize how talented a lot of the people here in Ottawa are. After you listen to them, you're like, they're just as good as anybody that's famous, and it's like, what's the difference is they're just not getting enough visual exposure. Like they're, and that's why Dog and I, we didn't start that way. It just started, we're going to talk about music. We're bored. It was COVID. We're like, forget it. We got to do something. Dog's like, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, music, man. We always talk about music. Why wouldn't we talk about music? And then it snowballed into this. Let's interview all of Ottawa, and which we are until we speak to all. And you've been doing it. Yeah, exactly.
And you've been doing it successfully, which is amazing. And
yeah, we're grateful. Yeah, we're grateful.
Yeah, it's just there. And here's the thing is, for a long time, especially like I would say like in my 20s, especially, again, every 2-3 weeks, we would drive to Montreal to see a show. We would always be in Montreal every other month or whatever to go see concerts. And then after going to see local shows, it's like, why are we always driving to Montreal? Like there's good bands here, and there are good, good lineups of music happening in Ottawa. So we, started staying in Ottawa and not going to Montreal as much to see concerts, even though I still go to Montreal once in a while,
Of course. Great music hub there.
Different vibe there too.
Yes. And maybe one day I'll play Montreal. That's a dream. We'll see.
Not maybe.
No, don't do that with him in the room. Don't ever say maybe.
You will. You haven't yet.
I haven't yet. But you know what, guys? Last year, so 2024 was a pretty big year for me because I played the iconic Rivoli in Toronto.
Oof.
So just that, I was like, yep.
It's amazing.
I'm happy as a clam. I get to open for an artist that I love and respect. So now I can be like, I played Toronto, yay!
Montreal's next. No
I
stress.
would love that. I'm working to make it happen, so we'll see. Booking shows what I'm discovering is booking shows is challenging,
Yeah, no
especially
doubt.
when you're just coming up. But I'll keep trying.
Yeah, that's what
But
you're...
I did my last performance, which was pretty special and pretty magical, was at the Black Sheep Inn in Wakefield. Just a few weeks ago with Dan Kelly and Woods of Light, Brian, who you've had him on your show. He's wonderful.
Very.
So I accomplished my goal in 2025. My goal for 2025 was to release my French song, and I did that at the end of September, and then to play somewhere in Quebec. And so luckily I was able to
The Black
put that
Sheep's
show
a pretty good
together in
spot.
Pardon?
The Black Sheep's a pretty good spot. I mean, there's been
Not
some
bad, right,
legends.
guys?
Some legends. I saw David Wilcox play there, actually.
Oh, wow.
Because he'll only go where he can drive home after. Did you know that about him? He's like a really legendary Canadian guitarist artist, right? So he just like, yeah, I'll go, but I got to be able to drive home within 3 hours. So
No, there you go.
he's a funny guy. Okay, social media, necessary evil or creative tool?
I know it's a creative tool. It's just
Evil.
and this is me saying this as like a communications and marketing person. That my job when I'm not like doing radio and music stuff is working in communications and marketing. So I know it's important and I know it's a creative tool. However, when it comes to using it on myself and to promote my stuff, I find it so daunting and just so not fun. And I think, I mentioned this earlier, how important authenticity is to me. And it just seems like a lot of content out there just doesn't feel authentic.
Yeah.
However, if you're not on social media, you might as well not even exist as, as an artist or as a creator. I know it's both. But I find it quite challenging. I'm not going to lie.
A lot of people do. I mean, it's
but a lot of people are so great at it, and I wish I could be that good, or I wish, I don't know.
Well, it's a necessity, right? So these days,
exactly. Yeah. What I would say is if you don't care as much as you think you should care, it'll work out in your benefit. Like I think that, like when you just put it out there, and don't overthink it. People forget about it within a minute. Just put it out, and then they see you. And then they can't remember it. I mean, I put out a lot of videos and people remember certain ones, but then they're like, they don't remember a lot of them, even though I've put a bunch out. So it's funny. I have. I had my other job.
That's really good advice, Gus. Don't overthink it. Maybe that's the problem, is I'm overthinking it.
Totally. You're not alone. It's most people.
No,
it's like 95%, I would say.
People look at the analytics and then go, oh my God, it's not doing very well. And it's like, stop worrying about that.
Don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. Put it out there. It'll go to where it needs to go and then move on.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that people kind of have in their mindset is like, what if they don't like it? What if nobody watches it? And then at some point you just have to say, Carpe that fucking Diem.
That's right.
And don't worry about it. Like, it doesn't matter. Take the hits. Dog, you want to hit her with some quick hits?
Yes,
there?
I do. Song. Okay, so the quick hits. So it's rapid fire. Song you wish you wrote.
Oh my God.
Right.
It's not that quick.
So many.
No. It's not that easy as a question to ask, dude.
That's true. I know.
No.
I should be kinder.
Yes. More understanding.
I am kind. I'm just messing around.
Song I wish I wrote. Oh my gosh.
Come on. I could think of one for you.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ironic.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one.
All right. Artist you'd love.
Probably That I Would Be Good by Alanis. That's from supposed former infatuation junkie. That's a pretty special song for me.
Nice.
There's so
All
many.
right, so
There's
Yeah.
we're gonna go with
that's a hard
we're
question.
gonna go with that one.
We go with that one. That's
Artist
great.
you'd love to open for,
Oh my god.
just off the top of your head. Boom.
Right now, Charlotte Cardin.
All right.
Charlotte Caldin.
Mm-hmm.
Solid.
Late night writing snack or drink.
Ooh.
Late night writing snack.
Or drink.
Doritos, probably. Ginger ale and Doritos.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Come
What about you, dog? What
Oh,
about you?
anything chocolate. Yep.
Oh.
Chocolate and tea.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm popcorn and Pepsi Zero. Probably not the right choice because before bed you don't want caffeine, but I'm
Yeah.
into it.
I love that we're all sharing our favorites. That's great.
Yeah.
Studio vibe. Low lights or full daylight.
Oh, low lights
Well, I
always.
figured as much for that one.
Yeah.
And last one word to describe your sound.
Moody, perhaps?
Moody.
Moody.
Or a
I
refill.
like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
I
all.
All right.
think.
So that was
Well,
Or
thanks.
nostalgic.
Thanks,
Moody or
nostalgic.
nostalgic.
Moody nostalgia.
Good.
That's good.
That's two
Yeah.
words, but we'll go with that.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's good.
It says
it's
one
one
word.
word if you hyphenate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Hyphenate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that still
Yeah,
one
yeah.
word if it's hyphenated?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right.
But who cares?
I'm not an English major.
It's Julie's show.
Yes, it is.
This is her time.
Yep.
So we let her ride with what she's riding with.
right.
Okay, we ask one question of every guest, and I already know the answer, but it's okay. Dog, you're going to be fine.
No, I'll
So,
be fine.
decades of music, there's two decades we discuss. It's the 80s or the 90s. Which one are you picking?
Okay. And this is a hard one.
Oh,
And I know
shit.
you already know the answer. However, I'm an 80s baby. So I feel like growing up, I didn't get to benefit or to savor the brilliance of 80s pop music. So now as an adult, there's nothing I love more than 80s music or going out to like an 80s dance party. Honestly, I would love in a couple of years to actually like DJ an 80s dance party. So love 80s music. However, my heart is with 90s music. Like that. Yeah, it's
Molded you.
It's what essentially shaped me.
Mhm.
So
It's hard because I
despite the fact that I love 80s music,
I tease Dog all
90s.
the time about this because I'm the 90s too and he's the 80s. But realistically, when I look back at my formative years, Michael Jackson was like my hero. And then as I grew older, Joy Division, Depeche Mode, even Guns N' Roses, like all of these things that started in the 80s. I definitely go vibe with. But this is just a fun game we have. Dog just gets
That's great.
I get totally destroyed at this, but
he gets destroyed at this. Yeah. He's not doing very well over the years.
Oh,
I'm not actually.
So we're going into 2026. What's next for Julie in the next year?
what's next is recording more music. So I definitely need to get on that. But I'm gonna need to figure out what songs to record, which is hard, but it's got to be done. So recording more music, and I'm just hoping to perform as much as I can. So my next show is February 5th. I'll be playing with Malia Rogers. She's very talented, love her. And I also have a new friend that I met last summer who lives in PI. So she's coming to town. So we are going to play a little maritimer songwriter circle, if you will, because Malia Rogers is from Nova Scotia. I'm from New Brunswick. And so it's going to be a fun time. I talked about wanting to perform in Montreal. I'll keep trying until I accomplish that goal. But this past summer, I was able to tour in the Maritimes. So I played 5 shows in 3 provinces, which was really, really fun. So I'm hoping to go back to the Maritimes this summer, maybe play some different spots with different people this time. And obviously, I'm going to keep doing the radio show, keep promoting Ottawa Gatineau music, and keep kind of, promoting the local music scene here. And yeah.
Nice. Can I
And
ask
go
you
to
a question?
festivals and go to shows and meet
Live
all
the-
the
live the
people
life.
and discover all the music, because that's what's really fun.
That's beautiful stuff. I love that. Can I ask you a question about people from PEI and they don't actually pronounce the E? They just go PI?
Oh yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, you just did. So I was just wondering why do you think that is?
Oh,
It's a
Do
maritime
you feel like
thing.
the E? Do you feel like the E is attached to
PI?
the P?
Yeah, PI.
PI.
PI. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. I always think pass interference, but you're like, no, PEI.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a maritimer thing.
I think
Yeah,
it is.
Well, it's like my best friend lives in Newfoundland, and I don't understand a thing they're saying
Oh.
when I go there. So it's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
That's
Where are
that's
you
a
two?
hard
Where are you two? Where
dialect
you
and
at?
a hard accent.
Yeah. Where are you to? Well, I'm where I'm at. You know.
Where-
I don't know, like it's like where are you from is where you to, and where are you going is where you to. But I was like, what does this mean? Like this is in English, you know. And my friend who's from Nova Scotia, who lives in Newfoundland, just sort of explains it to me. So it's great.
Yeah.
I have a question. Wait, hold on. I have a
Go
question
ahead,
for the
Doug.
two of you. I heard it the other day,
Yes.
and I immediately thought of Gus because here's the question. Okay, you have a choice between Michael Jackson and Prince. You have to pick one. The other one's discography, everything they've ever done, everything they've ever recorded will disappear, and you won't be able to find it. Who do you choose?
You pick one,
You
and
pick
the other
one,
one
the
goes
other one
away.
disappears. So if you pick Michael Jackson, then everything that Prince has done will be gone.
I have to say Prince, bro. I have to say
Wow.
Prince. I
Okay.
could live without Michael Jackson.
I
I
was
can't
gonna
live
say
without
the same.
Prince.
Yeah.
I can't live without Prince.
Even though growing up I listened to Michael Jackson
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
obviously
Well, we're all
His
agreed.
impact
We're all
is
agreed because I'm the same.
huge,
I would
but-
go
Well,
a little Prince.
you gotta
over.
think-
I
gotta
don't
think-
want to live in a world without Prince music.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Forget it.
And I'm saying this with the heart of hearts of saying how much I love the Thriller album.
Mhm.
Like I absolutely adore it. I played it so much. However, you can't take one of the top 3 guitarists of all time and take him away. You cannot do
Well,
it.
singer
Prince is
songwriter
so
too, right?
Well, that's too. And he played every instrument. He played piano, he played the drums, he played the bass, and he played the guitar better than anybody, really. Like Eric Clapton was asked, what's it like being the greatest guitarist of all time? He says, I don't know, ask Prince. So, like he's just, and his music is just so great. I love Prince. So
Yeah.
the only regret I ever had was I had an opportunity to see him in Montreal when he was doing that piano tour on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't go, and he died like a month
Same.
later.
Same.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about not going to see Tom Petty.
Same.
Oh.
Yes. Sorry.
At Blues Fest.
I went.
I know you went. Yeah.
I was
Because
able.
I love Tom Petty too. I mean, like I was like, oh, and I think was it just when I had the kids, dog? Was it
No,
2022?
It was
Oh,
before
okay.
because we came.
Yeah.
We just came back from a golf weekend. That was our golf weekend.
Oh, that's right.
And then my
Yeah,
buddy,
it was on the
my
Sunday
tattoo,
night.
my tattoo
right?
guy's like, "Hey man, you want to go check out Tom Petty? I got an extra ticket." And I'm like, "Man, I'm exhausted. It's a long weekend." And I'm like, "You know what? Screw it. Yes, let's go." And he put on a hell of a show. And then he passed away like 3 months later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. I'm heartbroken about that. Same with you, Julie. I'm with you on that one. Julie, thank you so
I think
much.
we all have those artists,
Yep.
right? Where we're like,
Yeah.
You
oh,
wish there was
man,
like that missed moment.
Like luckily for me, I was able to see the Cranberries perform, twice, once in Toronto, once in Montreal before Dolores passed on. But that's the thing, right? It's like we never know when bands are going to disband or someone's going to pass away, so it's Carpe Diem.
Yep.
That's right. You get the opportunity to do something, you should do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I probably wasn't allowed to go that night. I don't know what happened. I'm so pissed.
Maybe.
Yeah. Prince, though. Prince. Definitely Prince. I mean, Michael Jackson's
Yeah.
Michael, like, again, we could get out. That's a great question, though, dog,
Yep.
because it's like, how do you get rid of, it's like
Seriously,
saying,
yeah.
okay,
Well, I thought
can
of you
have
immediately, right? 'Cause-
Led Zeppelin or you can have the
Ooh.
Beatles.
Oh,
Like, which
yeah,
one goes away?
That's a tough. That's
like-
it's
That's impossible.
it's not a win
impossible.
situation for sure.
Mm-mm.
No. Well, Julie, we really appreciate your time. Check out Julie's music. Check her out on CKCU. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure was ours.
Thank you.
Doug and Gus, Doug and Gus, Doug and Gus.